Lucy and welcome to my Toyota Chaser, which might actually be illegal. Let me explain. Today I'm taking this car to Liberty Wraps, who helped me white wheel the world. They sprayed my wheels white and they're going to help me rectify the potential illegality of this car. So I'll catch up with you once I'm there and see what's going on with this vehicle. So here we are. There's a mysterious knocking noise from the rear axle. Cars, eh? I will be parking in front of the Supra. So the reason that I am here at Liberty Wraps, a lot of you guys have been telling me something about this car that stands out amongst the crowd, and some of the meets I take this to, I want to make sure it's 100% roadworthy. And that is the window tints on the front screen and the side windows. Now, you're not really supposed to have a tint on the front, and that is a very dark tint. It comes up with some bright colours when you put a polarizer over it. So we've got a window tint gauge, so we're going to detect how much light is coming through the side front windows and the windscreen and see whether that needs to be rectified. And then we're going to put something else on the screen in celebration of Adam's Seafest, which is coming up very soon on the 1st of May, Bank Holiday Monday. There are tickets down below as well for that. So what's this called, a VLT?
It's called a VLT.
VLT meter. Was it 50% is the legal tint on the front?
So 50%, 30% is the legal limit.
Okay.
Okay, 30% dark, 70% light coming in.
Yeah. So if it's any more than that, then we need to change it.
Then you do need to, yes, or you need to take them off completely.
Yes, definitely. Right, let's see what the front, because you definitely can't see much. Like as soon as you open that, it's a lot brighter, but it's got that colour kind of sheen to it as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which could be the glass, but yeah, it just goes on, connects it up, and it will show you how much light is coming through. So that 38% light, so that means it's 62% tint.
Which is way above.
That is good. Yeah. Okay, we need to take them off. I reckon the front screen's about the same.
Yeah, we can have a look.
If not, maybe worse, but it's probably the same wrap, and that's going to be very illegal. The rear tints are fine on it; they're legal to be as tinted as you like. So we'll see what they are.
Yeah, there's no legality on the rear.
Yeah, because you can have a van with no windows at all.
Exactly.
50?
Yeah.
Okay,
so
50% on the front, and you're not actually allowed any tint on the front, are you?
You're not allowed any.
So that needs to be taken off, and then you can have a sun strip on it, about 20 centimetres, and
yes,
we might give that a go.
Absolutely.
So just for argument's sake, let's see what the rears are like. When I drive at night, I can barely see anything out the back.
Yeah, because you're on 95%.
95%?
Yeah, they're the darkest ones.
There you go, 6% of light is coming through those, so they're 94% tints on the rear, which is legal, it's fine. You can have vans, you can, I think I'll keep them, they're fine. We just don't want to, we want to make sure there's a bit of tint on it so it doesn't look too dark and then light, but we need to rectify.
Anything at the back anyway, so
yeah, so this is what normally police officers do on the side of the road, isn't it? Just try and peel a bit off so you have to. Yeah, so you have to get it removed, and that's what's going to happen if I don't remove it. I don't want to be pulled over for just tints.
Generally with tints what happens is once it's peeled, it leaves all the glue behind.
Yeah, so
and then you've got this haziness.
Yeah. There we go. Simple as that. I mean, it's still quite dark because it's a dark interior, but I suppose it's because not a lot of light is coming through because of the 95% on the back, 50 on the front. So we're now trying to take the window tint off, and it's actually leaving a secondary tint behind, which is adding the colour. So it's got two different films on the windscreen. It's hard to really show on camera, but that's a bit of a struggle at the moment. There is no going back now. Goodbye multicoloured tints. Goodbye illegality. Oh wow, that's all coming off. A lot easier now, that's good. Mini-me's getting in the way. So there we have it. I can actually see the Chaser on the dashboard now properly. I can see the dash in itself, and the seats, you can see the seats. This is all very nice. It's actually, I think, a cleaner look to the car without tints. That is the trouble with cheap tints that were on the car before. They leave a lot of residue and it's hard to get off. But whilst they're sorting the glue residue on the windscreen, I've had a little thought about my rear lights. Now initially I thought that these were just tinted from factory. They're aftermarket lights that just had a tint. But having a look, there is a film on it. So I might be able to untint and unsmoke the lenses and give a much cleaner look to the rear end. I've got a bit of a change to this rear end coming up soon. In fact, this car is going to have a whole new look that's going to be unveiled at my show on the 1st of May. So if you want to be the first person to see the new look on this car, which is probably the final look for the car, maybe, then you'll have to buy your tickets. There's links in the video description for both spectator and show cars at the show. It's going to be wild. This is going to be there, and hopefully all of the other cars will be there, and I think the Armadillo might be there as well. Right, here goes nothing. Oh, it's going to be tougher than I think, isn't it? But I'm at the right place to have a... I'm going to need a knife. Oh no, it's coming. Yes, it's going to be clear. It's not going to peel off. It's just flaking off. But once that's off, it's going to look fantastic. So we're putting a bit of heat on it, and I have clear lights. Oh, that looks so much better. Look, before and after. Oh, that's made me so happy. I thought I was going to have to buy new units. How ignorant was I? Today I am unpimping my ride, and it's raining. Look how clean that looks now with the proper clear lenses on the back of the car. We're now measuring up for a sun strip. This is going to advertise my show. We've gone to 15 centimetres. I know that 20 centimetres is the limit, but I think 15 will be plenty big enough. So we've gone for matte white for the sun strip because it matches the white of the car quite nicely, and we're going gloss black for the Adam Seafest logo. And whilst we're here, we're also adding a bit of matte black to the grille just to de-chrome those two horizontal bars. It's just an idea of mine, just to see what it looks like without all that chrome. We'll keep the chrome surrounds, just the bars. So the guys are now fitting the sun strip on the car. We're putting the Adam Seafest branding on it, but I'm going to show you what this looks like with its new rear light look in a bit, and then I've got to inspect that rear knocking noise I noticed earlier. But first, I've got to change the tyres. So you might remember that I've had a bit of an issue with the tyres rubbing on the arches of the Chaser since I put the 350Z's wheels on. So Nexon have sorted me out with a fresh pair of front tyres. There's a 40 profile rather than 45, so we're going to get those fitted, swap around some tyres as well so that the wheels are correct on each side, and then I shall show you exactly what's gone on with this car. Oh, look at the Manta. Yes, liking it. White on white as well. It's annoying with these tyres, I can't really hoon in the car because as soon as I go over a bump, it just kind of goes. But here we are at Adams of Tadley to swap over some shoes. So, new tyres on, excuse the dirt, it's been a long day of changes to the car. However, upon driving, these tyres are still rubbing against the arch liner. So there are two things I can do. It's got spacers on the front, not on the rear, just on the front, so I can take the spacers off, and that will, I think, definitely solve it because it will bring the wheels in, and then obviously I can stiffen the suspension. But I've tried doing that and it didn't do much. So as I said, I'm going to take this car to Bewley Garage to have a look at the rear axle because there's a little bit of a knock. Need to work out what it is because I've got a long trip coming up in this car. But for now, let me show you what the car looks like with the new sun strip. There you go. So we've taken the tints off the front windscreen, and visually it hasn't made much of a difference, which is great. But we've added the sun strip, which I think makes a huge difference. It lowers the roofline of the car. We've also blacked out the grille, and of course around the rear, the very dirty rear, we have the clear rear lights. That is such an improvement. When I'm done with this car, it will match my perfect image of what a Chaser should look like. But this is it for now, and I'm going to catch up with you at Bewley Garage to see what we can do about the front and the back. Then I'm going to do a BG Giveaways live draw. There's links in the description for information about how you can get involved with that, and I'm going to let you know a bit later. So let's go Bewley Garage. So if you're a little bit confused as to why the tyres are still rubbing, even though they're the same profile and size that I had before on the old wheels on this car, I believe that the new wheels, well, the 350Z wheels, have a different offset to the ones that are on this, so they do stick out a bit more, and
and that's why they're rubbing. So taking the spacers off will definitely solve it, but I want to see if I can just stiffen the coilovers just so it doesn't ride as much. It's a bit boat-like anyway, so I might as well. And whilst I'm there, sort out the little noise I noticed on the rear. So we're heading to Bewley Garage, who I do BG giveaways with. There's links down below of how you can win some exciting stuff with BG giveaways. Take part, links down below. Let's get to Bewley Garage and see what's going on with this car. So here we are at Bewley Garage in Christchurch.
So we've got the Chaser up on the ramp, we've got it in second gear, cruising along, and we've noticed there's a bit of play in the diff, and that's probably what's causing the noise. So that's after years of abuse and clutch kicking. This probably needs a little bit of a rebuild, maybe a few other parts on the rear end. It's not horrendous, it's safe to drive, but there you go, there is the underside of my Chaser. So hopefully it's not too much to worry about. I'm just going to have to get the diff rebuilt maybe in the future. It's still fine to drive. So that was Bewley Garage. You're going to be seeing a lot of them very, very soon on the run up to my show on the 1st of May, because they will be having this car in the 2 weeks up to the show to give it the biggest change it's ever had. So you need to make sure you've hit that bell when you subscribe so that you can be notified for when that occurs. And if you buy your tickets for Adam Seafest, you can be the first to see the new look for the Chaser. But here we have it with its much nicer clean rear lights, the sun strip and the blacked out grille. So let me know what you think of these few tweaks and what you want to see next on the Chaser, and follow me on Instagram for the updates, highlights and pictures that I take. But for now, thanks for watching. Hello again, just a little report now that I'm home. We've stiffened the coilovers, so the suspension's a lot firmer, that's noticeable, and the rubbing has pretty much stopped. I mean, we'll see how it is when a passenger's on board, but as far as I'm concerned, we've sorted it, guys.